So it seems like Jon Favreau is actually taking over Star Wars and that Kathleen Kennedy is actually on her way out. I'm going to tell you why in this video, as well as tell you about a bunch of other Star Wars news. We have stuff like Keanu Reeves joining the Star Wars universe for the Old Republic. We have the Knights of the Old Republic game getting a remake. One of those things have been 100% confirmed, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. But first, let's talk a little bit about Jon Favreau taking over Star Wars and why I think it's 100% happening and probably has already happened. Let's get into it. So this article from IGN says that Star Wars will re-release classic Legends books for its 50th anniversary. And I covered this news a few weeks back, and as soon as this dropped, I thought it was pretty weird because Disney Star Wars, because Kathleen Kennedy absolutely hates the old content. It seems like every single chance Disney Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy get to put down the old content, to put down the original trilogy or anything under George Lucas. And I know all of the EU, I know all of the Legends novels weren't made by George Lucas. I know he didn't oversee the production of every single one of these books. But what I'm trying to say is Disney Star Wars hates everything that came before their purchase. And they always try to put the stuff down that came before their purchase. They always try to put the fans down that only like the stuff that came before their purchase. So it was really confusing to me when I heard that they were re-releasing Legends content, in particular the Legends books that they made non-canon. Several popular Star Wars Legends canon novels are being republished with new cover art as part of an essential Legends collection for the franchise's 50th anniversary. Heir to the Empire, Darth Bane, Path of Destruction, and the Mace Windu Focus Shatterpoint will be the first books to be republished and made available for purchase. So when I first heard about this happening, I thought it was extremely strange, and I thought there was no way that Disney Star Wars would be re-releasing old content. And I had an initial thought that maybe something is going on at Lucasfilm, maybe some things are shifting around in there, but then I kind of brushed it off as maybe it's just a little money grab. They're trying to get the old fans back because the High Republic videos on YouTube, everything they post on Twitter and Instagram is getting absolutely destroyed by the old fans, by the Gina Carano fans. So I thought it was either just a money grab attempt by Lucasfilm or maybe a sorry attempt to get the fans back from the Gina Carano situation. I don't know what it was, but as we get more and more news like this, it's becoming very clear what this is. It's becoming very clear what's happening at Lucasfilm. This is definitely not just a money grab attempt. This is definitely not just an attempt to get the fans back. This is a huge sign of a major shift happening at Lucasfilm right now in terms of the power. And then we have this article from VentureBeat.com. Star Wars Republic Commando gets switched PlayStation 4 port. So even more old content getting pushed by Disney Star Wars that I never thought would be pushed by Disney Star Wars. This is getting extremely weird. But still, I thought that that was a really easy way of getting money. Maybe it's just a cash grab attempt. Maybe it doesn't really mean anything. But it did have me thinking maybe things are shifting at Lucasfilm right now. Maybe there's some things going on because it's not like Kathleen Kennedy at all. It's not like Disney Star Wars to push this old content, even if it's going to make them a lot of money. I mean, we've been begging for some of this stuff for so long. We've been begging for an HD port of Republic Commando for so long, and they refuse to do it. Or remaking the SWTOR game or the KOTOR game, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but that would have been a huge money grab for them, and it's so easy. They don't have to really do anything. They can give us those same games. They can give us the same storylines, just reskin the game, make it look better, make it feel better, and they can make so much money. But for some reason, they refuse to do it after we had been begging for it for years and years, and now all of a sudden they're re-releasing all this old content. Something is going on at Lucasfilm. I believe it's Kathleen Kennedy on her way out and Jon Favreau on his way in. And then we get these Reddit leaks, which was an obvious attempt for the Kathleen Kennedy camp to try and save face. A couple key parts of this Reddit leak said that there has never been a cultural civil war at Lucasfilm. Now that to me is red flag number one, because personally, if you just look at the content that's being created, you can tell that there's a civil war going on. You can tell that there's a power struggle going on at Lucasfilm between the two philosophies, between the two cultures on which direction Star Wars should go. And then right under that, it says, nevertheless, a disagreement on what direction to take the franchise has always been a recurring problem. That's literally what I describe as the Civil War. It's obviously an attempt for Kathleen Kennedy's camp to save face, because who does it benefit most for the general public to believe that there is no civil war? It's the side that's going to lose the war. Kathleen Kennedy is losing the war, and very soon we will find out that she's going to be out of there. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's side has won the war, and they didn't even have to play dirty like Kathleen Kennedy's side and Pablo Hidalgo's side has. They've just been out creating greatness. They've just been out creating good content, while Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo are out there virtue signaling constantly on Twitter and only making characters so that they can virtue signal on social media, while Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are just focusing on content. Another reason why Jon Favreau is taking over Lucasfilm. This article from IGN says Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake reportedly coming from port studio Aspire. Now this one is actually huge, and I think it might be the biggest reason why I think there's a power shift going on at Lucasfilm. A remake of the 2003 BioWare RPG Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is reportedly in the works at port studio Aspire Media. The news was revealed by Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier during an interview with Ben Hansen of Min-Max. This is public at this point. I've basically confirmed that Aspire, which is the company that has ported a bunch of KOTOR games, is working on the remake. Eurogamer subsequently backed up that assertion, saying that it had also heard of Aspire's involvement. While the developer is known for often releasing straight ports, work is currently underway to make the project more of a remake instead. Aspire has recently released a number of Star Wars ports, most recently the PS4 and Switch version of Star Wars Republic Commando, which we just talked about a little bit ago. Rumors of a KOTOR remake have been swirling for some time, with reports from January 2020 suggesting that the game was in development and would integrate elements from the first 2 games in order to bring certain things into the Star Wars current canon. Now that's actually huge because I never thought they would bring these games, even if they did remake them like these reports are saying. I never thought that they would be fully canon. If they really make those games canon, then I would be so happy. But once again, like this article said, those reports have been happening ever since January of 2020, and we've been begging for it since way before that. We've been begging for a KOTOR remake pretty much ever since Disney bought Star Wars, and it just seemed like Disney Star Wars would never budge. They would just never comment on it. They would never tell us what we wanted to hear. And honestly, I just kind of gave up on ever getting a KOTOR remake. I just kind of gave up of ever seeing those games reskinned, remade, remodeled. At this point, I just kind of understand that Kathleen Kennedy and Disney hate the old Star Wars and they just want it gone. That's why I think Jon Favreau is now in charge. You got to think about all of these things that I've listed in this video so far. We have the Legends books coming back. We have Republic Commando getting an HD port. We even got the Ewok movie re-released on Disney Plus recently, and now we have a KOTOR remake confirmed. There is no way that after all of this time of Kathleen Kennedy sticking to her guns, saying that the old Star Wars is bad, saying out with the old, in with the new, now all of a sudden she's just flipping on all of that and re-releasing all of this old content, remaking old games. I think there's no way that Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't stick to her guns on this. There's no way that Kathleen Kennedy made these decisions. This is Jon Favreau, or maybe they even hired a new president. I don't know, but it's damn sure not Kathleen Kennedy, and it's damn sure not anyone from her faction making these decisions, because they all hate this content. And lastly, we have an article from Inside the Magic saying that Keanu Reeves is reportedly cast in Star Wars. Now this has been rumored, this has been leaked over and over again for so long, but it seems like it might actually be a reality at this point. But we'll have to wait and see, because like I said, it's been rumored and reported for so long, but never by this many news outlets at the same exact time. For years, movie fans have wanted A-list actor Keanu Reeves to join the Star Wars universe. Not all of us. Rumors of Reeves playing a role in the Star Wars franchise intensified last year when fan art portraying the actor as favorite Knights of the Old Republic video game character Sith Lord Darth Revan started making the rounds on social media. Now a new report indicates that Reeves has already been cast in an upcoming Star Wars The Old Republic series, but not as the former Jedi Knight Revan. Instead, Reeves will reportedly be playing a new Star Wars character named Sith King Valar in a live-action style animated series on Disney Plus. And here is the actual report that Inside the Magic got. The 56-year-old actor will be voicing the character before the next steps in the series. Disney are using the animated TV series to introduce King Valar to the fandom, and Keanu Reeves is said to be doing the voiceover work for that character in the beginning stages. The TV show will adopt a new style of animation unlike anything fans have seen in the series yet. Now once again, take this all with a grain of salt. We've heard this so many times over the years, and honestly, I don't even know why fans want Keanu Reeves in Star Wars so bad. I really don't want him in there at all. I don't want to go too deep on why that is, because I don't want to make this video super long, but Star Wars has always done a great job of casting semi-unknown actors who don't really have an identity in Hollywood yet. Right now, when you see Keanu Reeves, you think of him as John Wick, or you think of him as Neo, when Star Wars has always done a great job of casting people who don't have that identity yet in Hollywood. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Revan news is actually true? Do you think we'll finally see Keanu Reeves in the Star Wars universe? Let me know in the comments. And also, do you agree with me that a power shift is going on at Lucasfilm? Do you think that Kathleen Kennedy is really out of there? Because I truly think that she is. I truly think that she's already been stripped of her power, because she would never do all of this stuff that I talked about in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to support the channel, check out all of the new merch that I just dropped. The link to that will be in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description as well. But thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.